This is the city of Chicago, Illinois. The metropolitan area of Chicago, with its 10 million residents and its glorious architecture, supports two of our planet's leading universities, the University of Chicago and Northwestern University. These universities in turn play host to two of the world's top 10 business schools. Chicago Business School's excellence for economics, the discipline out of which marketing emerged in the earliest 20th century, is matched only by the excellence of the Kellogg Business School of Northwestern, generally acknowledged to be the world's leading school for marketing, mostly due to the eminence of one extraordinary academic, Professor Philip Kotler. In our classes, Phil Kotler has already figured twice, but perhaps his greatest contribution to the theory of marketing was to observe that marketing can be effective beyond the limiting field of commerce. By presenting marketing tools as controlling what he called an exchange of values, he took marketing theory outside the confines of simple commerce, where products, goods such as shampoo, iPhones, cars, are exchanged for money, and identified marketing as the motor of value exchange, designating marketers as those who may control the process by which any value is exchanged for another value. Contexts for career marketers' engagement in exchanges of values, to flow directly from Kotler's observations, have been politics, charities, and other not-for-profit ventures, which had prior to the 1960s not been widely recognized as providing remunerative careers for marketers. We are a more successful profession, wider recognized for what we can achieve, and richer for Philip Kotler. There was no doubting Kotler's genius, but he was clearly not observing a new phenomenon. Human beings have been attempting to control exchanges since we first dropped out of the trees. Man is a social animal and lives by exchanging values. What Kotler was doing was to evolve marketing out of intuition, instinct, and locate it as consciously applied method. Even this was not as original as it seemed in 1960s Chicago, and not as original as it still seems to scholars today. Indeed, had the lens of economic scholars been focused just 300 miles away, they would have found that another city had been playing host for over 100 years to a practical experiment, a hugely successful experiment in leading people out of the darkness of marketing intuition into the light of consciously applied marketing method. Let's ride the interstate as I first did many years ago from Chicago to Cincinnati. Close to the waterfront of the mighty Ohio River squat the massive Twin Towers, which house the general offices of the Procter & Gamble Company. The river looks up at the towers, and the towers look down on the river as it flows downstream towards the Mississippi, New Orleans, and the distant Gulf of Mexico. If the Ohio River, as it winds around the Queen City, could talk, it would have an extraordinary tale to tell. A tale of a tiny family business which grew to become the world's biggest advertiser and leading marketer, a global giant, and rival to Kellogg as the most respected school of marketing on the planet. Let's get to know P&G better in our next class.